Hey there guys, what is going on here today? Welcome to my channel, The Vinyl Corner. With any luck, by the time you are seeing this video, there will be a really excellent review up beforehand on a brand new album by the Lone Bellow called Then Came the Morning. Be sure to go and check that out if you're looking for something new or something you know and are interested to hear my thoughts on, or you just like how I review things because, you know, my opinion alone, I think I did a pretty good job on it. So go and check that out, but here in this particular video, I want to get right down to business and cover a couple of records to unbox today. Two, to be more specific. As you can see by these hand motions, it means two. And they are two albums that I'm a little bit behind on covering, so I'm really not going to waste a whole bunch of time trying to intro into them or try to do them in separate videos and all that. I just kind of want to throw them together, get them out there, talk about them a little bit. So let's get right to it here with Josh Ritter and Solo Acoustic Live Volume 1. This is the title, who knows what the hell this title is, it's a mile long. Somerville Theater, Somerville, Massachusetts in March of 2014. We'll just boil that down to it's Josh Ritter Acoustic Live Volume 1. And the latest in the Ryan Adams, the crazy Ryan Adams 7-inch single releases with No Shadow, the very 7-Eleven inspired No Shadow, quite literally in fact. If you're here watching these videos for either of these artists, you likely know who each of them are, why they are who they are, why you like them, etc., etc. So you really don't need a big rundown from me in regards to what you already know. However, for those of you who might just be tuning in, for the hell of it, to give you a quick breakdown on both of these guys, we'll start with Josh Ritter here. He has put out quite a few excellent solo records in his career. He has done a lot of great performing with his band, the name of which I was going to state right here in this this video, but it is escaping me at the moment. And he's put out he's a great songwriter, amazing lyricist. Put out a great record not too long ago called The Beast in Its Tracks, and was very fortunate to see him perform it live, and he continues a very excellent and superb solo career. He played over in Ireland for many years. Glenn Hansard helped get him discovered as far as musicians go. He's written a book. He's done a lot of really cool stuff. Very, very proficient wordsmith of sorts, which is a thing I can really appreciate. So when this rolled around, and I believe the official release date on that was sometime this past week. I believe it was this past Tuesday, this Acoustic Live Volume 1. Much like when Jackson Browne put out his couple of volumes of solo acoustic material, Josh is one of those artists that, knowing that he's putting something like that out immediately makes me think, I gotta check this out. Like, of people I would love to hear, I love the solo acoustic format, and there are just certain guys that can really do that. Of course, this technically isn't solo acoustic. It's a very just kind of an acoustic arrangement, because he is playing with his band. Again, I'm trying to remember the name. I apologize so much. It's flying over my head in the moment. With his guys on other guitar, organ, backing vocals, electric guitar, just playing some backing instrumentation to kind of fill it out. So it's a little bit different from solo acoustic, but it is more of a stripped down format, very folk based. So I knew I had to immediately get it, see what it was all about, and this is the cover for that. And I'm sure, of course, this was a really fun thing for anybody who attended Somerville Theater in March of 2014 to get a live thing on vinyl, which is pretty cool. And here is the back, which basically gives you all of the track listings, what instruments were played, you know, what musicians were on stage, guitars, all the text, where it was recorded, the photograph, who took this photograph, etc., etc., writing credits. Very cool. There's a Lindsey Buckingham cover in here, Felice Bryant as a writing credit, and there's a lot of great stuff from throughout his career, like Best for the Best, Southern Pacifica, Joy to You Baby, which was off of his last solo record, Certain Light, which is very good, Can't Go to Sleep Without You, which is actually the Bringing in the Darlings EP, which is kind of where I got interested in Josh, because it was just this little collection of songs, but I just kept playing them and playing them because they were just really pretty and really melodic and just really got under my skin in this really great way. So that's kind of what really led me to him. The great live song Galahad. 10 tracks all in all. It kind of flies through pretty quick, but it's better to have it fly through quick than be tapping your foot wondering when is this going to be over already. So I think that's a good sign, if nothing else. And inside we have this record on sort of an orange marbled vinyl that did not quite look how I anticipated that it would. It's still very pretty, but I sort of anticipated something akin to when Andrew Bird did the special edition release of the later... See, I'm messing up on a whole bunch of titles today. The later LP, because he put out a solo LP, Break It Yourself, in the early part of that year, and this was another extension he had released later on, and that had some great songs and stuff, but it had more of like a fiery... It was a more ornate looking record. This is more of a subtle thing, but if you look close, it's really interesting, and it's got some nice textures and stuff, and it's very pretty, very nice weight to it, very solid record all around, and some nice center logo stuff here, which is just very simple, but lays out what is what, and has a nice kind of, I don't know, just kind of an old school look to it. So, plays really well, really excellent quality on this. Comes with a nice little download card, one of those ones that actually has the design of the record on it. Could give that out if anybody was interested, I suppose, because it's it's a good little record, and it's really just it's a lot of fun. You put it on the record player, you get it going through the speakers, and the guitar cuts in and stuff, and it sounds like you're right there, or they're right next to you in the room, and that's really, you know, just how it should be. So that's Josh Ritter with Acoustic Live Volume 1, Somerville Theater, Somerville, Massachusetts, March 2014, aka Josh Ritter Acoustic Live. Saving my breath on that title. Now for our last thing, and our last little presentation in this vinyl unboxing video, we have Ryan Adams with the No Shadow 7-inch. Now, this is the latest in the mix of the 7-inch material that Ryan has released throughout the year and all that. He's done things like Vampires. I've covered most of this stuff on my channel. Vampires, Do You Laugh When You Lie? Going back to, I don't have any more in this stack, but going back to the single For Gimme Something Good, all throughout, and this release was actually supposed to come out before Vampires, but Vampires, I believe, was pushed into the fold so quick. No, it was either Vampires or Do You Laugh When You Lie? I'm confused on my timelines, but whichever one it was, it pushed into that part of the year. I believe it was Vampires, though, and it pushed into that part of the year, and No Shadow was delayed and put out for a while, and then suddenly, oh, No Shadow is back, and we're going to release it. And it's got this whole 7-Eleven themed vibe, mostly because the second song on the B-side, Stoned Alone, is a quick kind of a jokey, very typical Ryan song, in which it basically accounts for the time he was stoned in the 7-Eleven parking lot across the street from his studio, Pax-Am. So that's where that bit of brilliant inspiration comes from. He does a lot, both of the, I believe both of the No Shadow track and It's In My Head, yes, both of those he does with Johnny Depp, who you can see on the back here. They kind of have a some sort of working musician friendship going on out there in the great California area. I don't know if this is like a Marlon Brando thing on the front to just get the cover in there again. Again, I always find I have such a hard time. Oh, and there's Ryan's cat over in the corner, obviously. Theo, I think. I always have such a hard time describing these releases because while I think it's cool to have them, it's cool to have releases that are so nicely done. 1984 is another one. I didn't mention that. 1984 is really good. That's probably the best of the bunch, in fact. But it's tough because you get these things and it's like it's really cool to have them. Like it's cool being a fan of Ryan and his music, and Jacksonville, that was another one from earlier in the year. being able to have these with cool cover art and different stuff. It's a neat little thing from Pax-Am, but at the same time wondering where things like Black Hole are, wondering, what else is in his vault after all these years. It's hard to kind of pick and choose your way through the releases, because the songs are just like, some are good, like Do You Laugh When You Lie had some pretty good moments, and Jacksonville did as well, but it's like nothing is biting as like a, wow, this is an amazing hidden B-side track that probably didn't really occur in my head until all the way back when it was Aching for More, which was the B-side to Give Me Something Good before his solo record came out, which was a kind of a meh experience overall. And it's tough ever since. Things have just kind of been bouncing around in the, these tracks are okay. But I will say that I like No Shadow. No Shadow is on the A side, It's in My Head, and Stoned Alone are on the B side. And I gotta say, I do like that track, it's pretty good. But it's like one of those things where you put it on a couple times, you hear it, it's cool to have it, but it's not one of those things you're just gonna be like, I gotta put this on my record player every time. It's not one of those kind of things. So it's alright for what it is, which has been a lot of this 7-inch, and it's just your typical stock on the inside, and it has these green middle designs. And that is No Shadow for you, ladies and gents. Hope you enjoyed the latest in the Ryan Adams 7-inch single collection, as strange as they have been. I'm sure there are plenty more still to come. He's got a Record Store Day 1 looming, some other things. We'll be here covering those as well, I believe, as well as much more. I don't think we'll do any more with this, although if anybody were interested, I could review it, but I think we'll just leave it as a presentation. I definitely really enjoy this, though, so go and check it out if you like Josh Ritter, if you like good folk music, if you like really a nice quality pressing, good quality record. Go and check this out as well. So that is Josh Ritter with Live Acoustic Volume 1. Ryan Adams with No Shadow. Go and check those out. Go check the review out that I did in the last video, and keep it here for much more, guys, still to come.